Okay, so I had someone request part 2 of this video, so it got me motivated to go ahead and do it since I have a minute. But we talked in the last video about the difference between boundaries and ultimatums or rules. So with boundaries, we decided that with a boundary, I am inside. This is the fence. These are the things, this is the gate. And then these are the things that I allow in my fence. So whether that's respect, safety, blah, blah, blah. You've seen the other video, you get it. And then all the other people, whether they're my kids, my coworkers, my family, my relationship, random people on the street, doesn't matter. They're out here. And then I decide through this gate if they have access to me or not, and what parts of me they have access to. So I'm sure you remember that. If not, you can go back and watch the first video. So what happens when we give boundaries is we have control of the gate, who's letting us in and out. So if we look over here, more like, if we look at ultimatum and rules, then it's more like a jail. So here's the jail, here's the bars. I know my drawing is terrible, but my VA will fix this, I hope. So it's a jail, and then we're more like the police officer. So here I am, the police officer. I'll give myself a little hat. Okay, so now instead of being inside a fence and where I have control over what's coming in and out based on their behavior, their beliefs, their thoughts, however they're treating me, I'm now a police officer and I'm on the outside. So now instead of saying people who want access to me need to behave in a certain way, I am going to say if you don't behave in a certain way, there is going to be a punishment. So that's more what an ultimatum or a rule is. So a boundary says I only allow respectful, safe, responsible people into my existence. A rule or an ultimatum says if you don't treat me respectfully, safely, whatever your things are, everybody is different, then there's going to be a punishment for that. Okay? It sounds very similar. The difference is, here's all the people, the kids and the partner and the co-workers and the friends and, again, random people on the street, bosses. Here's all the people. So difference is, same people, same rules. Like the rules may be, you have to respect me, you have to treat me safely, you have to talk kindly to me, you have to be, you have to be safe with your money, you can't use alcohol, drugs, you can't hit me, whatever. They're the same things that we're asking. The difference is this. In here, I am inside my safe place and I'm keeping track of who's coming in and out. Here, I'm outside the safe place, and I am now having to police and monitor whether these guys are following the rules or not. And then if they are or they are not, what's the punishment for that? Okay, so instead of saying I only allow safe people into my space, I'm saying, okay, you're talking badly to me and you misused my money and you did this, so therefore I'm not talking to you for a week, or I'm not having sex with you if this is my partner, or I don't know, I'm going to quit my job if you don't say these things to me. But what that requires is for me to be on the outside policing all of these behaviors. I'm not going to sit in the jail and wait for people to mess up and then they'll come to jail on their own. Where over here, all I have to do is say in my safe place and then decide who comes in and out. Here, I'm outside of my safe place and I'm constantly having to check and see, are all these people, is he cheating on me? Is my boss taking advantage of me? Is my coworker talking behind my back? Is my friend texting my husband? I'm constantly having to look around and follow through and say, oh my gosh, what are these people doing? And if they are doing it, what's the consequence for that? What ends up happening is I spend all of my time and energy trying to figure this out. And not only is that bad and unsafe and unnecessary, it's exhausting and it doesn't work. I can't make them stop doing the things. I can only control this part. So all of this is not only exhausting, messes with our relationships, and is ineffective, it's not going to help. We're still going to have the same problem. So what I have to do is control me. So again, this is a boundary. I have control of myself in a boundary, and I have control of who comes in and out. This is a rule or an ultimatum. If you do this, I'm going to do that, etc., etc., etc. Puts the responsibility on me to figure out who's doing what and then what punishment or consequence that I'm going to give them. Hopefully that will make sense. Whatever feedback we have or whatever comes up from this, questions, concerns, we will go on with our next video. But this series is going to be all about how do I focus on me? How do I take accountability for my own actions? But also, how do I respect my space from other people hurting me? And what does that look like for me as an individual? There's a whole lot of different ways that this can work out. But hopefully that gave a little bit of clarification on what the difference is between setting a boundary and enforcing my own boundaries, or setting an ultimatum or a rule. Thank you.